Hello students, again we are going ahead with our previous class, The Spectator Club by Richard Steele. As we have discussed in this essay, Steele is trying to portray the characters, the caricatures of some of his friends, naming them as the members of their club. In this process, so far we have come across with one of the characters named Sir Roger de Coverley. He was a elderly person. He was a thorough gentleman. He belongs to a very reputed family, as we have been given the hint that his great grandfather was the inventor of a famous country dance, which is still renowned or still remembered by his name, and that Sir Roger de Coverley was once cheated or being defeated in love with by some neighboring widow, and since that time he has lost all his fervor, all his zeal to dress up, and he still remains in the very same fashion, in the same old fashioned way in which he used to be at the time of that deceit. Now, the second person about whom he talks about is the gentleman next in esteem and authority among us is a member of the among us is another bachelor who is a member of the inner temple, a man of great probity, wit, and understanding. So now the next person about whom he is talking about, he gives the introduction to that person, and what he says, that the gentleman next in esteem means in respect and in authority, in the kind of powerful position which he enjoys, is another bachelor. Again, he says the person who is next in our list is another bachelor, and that person is a member of the inner temple. Now, this inner temple, this was a society of the inner temple. It was like the bar council of today. आज के दिन जो बार काउंसिल होती है ना, मीन्स एक जो एडवोकेट्स की एक संस्था होती है जिसके जो मेंबर्स होते हैं वो कोर्ट में कानून की जिरह करते हैं, डिसीजन मेकिंग में हेल्प करते हैं. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूट इट वाज. सो ही सेज दैट this next member of our company, who is also a bachelor, but he is also a member of the inner temple, means he is related to the law. A man of great probity, wit, and understanding, and he was a man who has the skill of discussing things, of finding things. He was a very witty person, and he has a great understanding, means a very learned person, a very intelligent person, a very searching kind of person he was. But he had chosen his place of residence rather to obey the directions of an old humorsome father than in pursuit of his own inclinations. But he says that the place where he is residing now, which place? Means the courts, the law. This he has chosen because of the whims, because of the pressures of an elderly humorsome father than to his own inclination. It was not his own inclination to choose this profession, to choose this subject of law, but because his father wanted him, his father persuaded him to choose this subject. That's why he has chosen this subject. He is pursuing the law. He was placed there to study the laws of the land, and is the most learned of any of the house in those of the stage. He was being put there to learn the law by his father. Means his father has persuaded him, has forcefully put him there to learn the laws. Though it was not his inclination to learn the laws, but still his father has sent him there and forced him to study the laws. But still he is far more learned than any other who sits there on the stage in any court. जब कोर्ट हेल्ड होता है तो उसमें जो लोग बेंच पे बैठते हैं, जो लोग चेयर करते हैं उस कोर्ट को, उनमें से वो सबसे ज़्यादा लर्नेड है. Aristotle and Longinus are much better understood by him than Littleton and or Coke. Now, this is what the writer is trying to say, that his own inclinations were in reading arts, not in reading law. So, he knows much better, he understands much better to Aristotle and Longinus. These two persons, Aristotle and Longinus, they are related with arts. ना ये जो दो लोग थे, अरिस्टोटल, अरस्तु, आपने नाम सुना होगा, जो ही वाज द फादर ऑफ साइंस, ही वाज द फादर ऑफ क्रिटिसिज्म, ही वाज द फादर ऑफ पोएट्री. अरिस्तु जो थे वो बहुत विद्वान आदमी थे और लगभग आधे से ज़्यादा सब्जेक्ट्स जो हैं उनके फादर वो थे, उन्होंने उनको प्रवर्तन किया था. तो अरस्तु ने जो थी वो आर्ट्स की थियरीज दी थी, साहित्य की थियरीज दी थी. लॉन्जाइनस जो थे उन्होंने भी एक इमेजिनेशन थियरी जो थी वो उनकी बहुत फेमस थी और आज भी लोग उनको उस थियरी को फॉलो करते हैं. तो वो कह रहा है कि इनके बारे में उसे ज़्यादा नॉलेज है देन लिटिलटन और कोक. दीज आर द टू फेमस judges of whom he is talking about, that he is much well versed in these things about the literature or about the art than about the laws. The father sends up every post questions relating to marriage articles, leases and tenures in the neighborhood. And now the father, because he wanted his son to be learned in law and be a practitioner of law, be a judge there, so he sends cases from the neighboring areas, from the neighborhood, related with marriage articles, leases or tenures of rent, all which questions he agrees with an attorney to answer and take care of in the lump. And all these questions are duly answered by him, but not by him, by an attorney, by an assistant whom he has put for this purpose. यानी उसके फादर जो थे वो क्या करते थे, he sends legal matters to him every नाउ एंड देन, है ना, वो डेली और एवरी नाउ एंड देन उनके फादर जो थे वो उनको लीगल मैटर्स भेजते थे डिस्कस करने के लिए, कानूनी राय मांगने के लिए. लेकिन यहाँ जो ये थे श्रीमान जी, ये क्या करते थे, इन्होंने इस काम के लिए एक असिस्टेंट को रखा हुआ था कि वो इन द लंप इकट्ठे ढेर के ढेर उनको निपटारा कर दिया करते थे. वो उनका जो भी सोल्यूशन, उनका जो भी आंसर्स उन केसेज का बनता था, वो जो इनका अटॉर्नी था, जो सहायक इन्होंने रखा हुआ था, वो भिजवा दिया करता था. He is studying the passions themselves when he should be inquiring into the debates among men which arise from them. Because the writer here is taking side with his friend or the member of their club, he says he is studying the passions themselves instead of reading the cases which arise out of them. भी जितने भी केसेस होते हैं, चाहे वो फौजदारी का हो, चाहे वो ज़मीनी मामलात का हो, चाहे वो दीवानी हो, चाहे फौजदारी हो, यानी जितने भी ये जो कोर्ट में जो भी केसेस जाते हैं, जो भी ऐसे कानूनी जो समस्याएं होती हैं, वो क्यों पैदा होती हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ द पैशंस. हमारे जो पैशंस होते हैं, गुस्सा, क्रोध, लोभ, है ना, लालच, ये जो चीज़ें होती हैं, इनकी वजह से क्या होता है, ये कानूनी दिक्कतें आती हैं, उनकी वजह से ये कोर्ट में केसेस होते हैं. तो वो कह रहा है कि ही यूज टू रीड पैशंस देमसेल्व्स, वो सीधे उन पैशंस को, उन भावना को ही पढ़ने में ज़्यादा टाइम यूज स्पेंड करता था, देन inquiring into the debates which arised out of those passions. He knows the argument of each of the orations of Demosthenes and Tully, but not one case in the reports of our own courts. He says that this person, he used to have all the knowledge related with the orations. Orations means the speeches of Demosthenes and Tully. These are the politicians of those times, but not one case in the reports of our courts. लेकिन हमारे जो courts थे उनके किसी भी केस की कोई भी रिपोर्ट्स जो थी, कोई भी जो विवरण था, उसके बारे में उसको कोई जानकारी नहीं थी. No one ever took him for a fool, but none except his intimate friends know he has a great deal of it. He says, though no one has taken him for a fool, means this is what his reputation is, that no one took him for a fool though, but only his close friends knew this thing, that he is very witty. उसको बेवकूफ़ तो कोई भी नहीं समझता था, लेकिन सिर्फ उसके जो क्लोज फ्रेंड्स थे वो ये जानते थे कि वो बहुत ही बुद्धिमान है. ये बात जो थी ये सिर्फ उसके क्लोज फ्रेंड्स जानते थे. अदर्स जो थे वो उसको हालांकि बेवकूफ़ तो नहीं समझते थे, बट उसको इंटेलिजेंट भी नहीं समझते थे. This turn makes him at once both disinterested and agreeable. And this thing that the others, they don't took him for a fool, and his close friends, they knew that he was very witty. So this make him at once disinterested, means disinterested by others, and agreeable to the company of friends. A few of his thoughts are drawn from business. They are most of them fit for conversation. And he said, though he is not related to any kind of businesses, but still some of his thoughts are, some of his ideas were drawn from businesses, and they are, most of them are fit for conversation. Means he talks of business, he starts discussing business just for the sake of conversation, not for the sake of doing any kind of business or giving any kind of information on commerce. His taste for books is little too just for the age he lives in. And again, as we have talked this thing in our previous lecture, that literature is the mirror of our society. So he says that his taste for books is little too just for the age he lives. It means the age of which the writer is talking about, the age of which the writer is writing here in this essay, the people were not used to read too much of books. Means reading was not in habit at that time. It was a very sparse habit, and this person, he used to read too much than the general people of that period. He has read all but approves of very few. He has read all means he was such a voracious reader that he has read a lot of books, a lot of things he has read, but he has approved only a very few of them. His familiarity with the customs, manners, actions, and writings of the ancients makes him a very delicate observer of what occurs to him in the present world. And because he has read too much, so he was familiar with the customs, manners, actions, writings, cultural things, and means all the things of the ancient times, and that's why it is very easy for him to compare and to understand what is happening with him right now. This is what we have also read in our previous essay, रीडिंग मेक्स ए मैन फुल. बेकन का जो ऐसे था उसमें भी ये था कि हिस्ट्री मेक्स ए मैन रेडी. अगर आप हिस्ट्री पढ़ते हो तो जो पुराने समय की जो भूल हैं, जो पुराने समय का मतलब इतिहास की जो भी घटनाएं हैं, उनके अनुसार आप अपने वर्तमान को इजीली कॉम्प्रीहेंड कर सकते हो, उसको उस अनुसार आप अपने आप को एडजस्ट कर सकते हो. आप द सेम थिंग हियर अगेन कमिंग. He is an excellent critic, and the time of the play is his hour of business. And one more thing is that he was a great critic also. क्रिटिक क्या होता है? अभी आपने कभी सुना है नाम क्रिटिक? क्रिटिक आलोचक. अब आलोचक का मतलब एक तो ये होता है भाई बुराई करने वाला. अगर हम जनरल सेंस में देखते हैं, आलोचक कौन होता है? बुराई करने वाला. बट हियर critic means a person who observes things minutely and then discusses the pros and cons of that thing. that is a critique. जैसे अगर if you have read it in न्यूज़पेपर में अगर आप दैनिक भास्कर पढ़ते हैं उसमें जयप्रकाश चौकसे के नाम से एक आर्टिकल आता है इन विच ही डिस्कसेस मूवीज बॉलीवुड एंड इवन बुक्स, है ना, जिसमें वो बुक्स को, और वो होता है क्रिटिक का मतलब जो उस चीज़ के बारे में उसकी अच्छाइयाँ भी बताए उसकी बुराइयाँ भी नहीं, मतलब आलोचक से यहाँ ये नहीं कि वो सिर्फ उस चीज़ की बुराइयाँ बताए, लेकिन आलोचक मीन्स ए पर्सन हु डिस्कसेज ऑल द प्रोज एंड कॉन्स ऑफ दैट थिंग, वो उस चीज़ की जो भी प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हैं, अच्छाई बुराई जो भी है उनको डिस्कस करे, दैट इज ए critic. So he was a very excellent critic, and that's why the time of play means in the ancient days, पुराने समय में, चूंकि आज आपके पास मोबाइल है, आज हमारे पास टीवी है, सिनेमा है, लेकिन इससे बहुत पहले की अगर हम बात करें उस टाइम वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में, हमारे देशों में भी नाटक प्ले हुआ करते थे, और जो कि अक्सर इवनिंग के समय में हुआ करते थे। तो वो कह रहा द टाइम ऑफ प्ले, यानी शाम को जब थिएटर का जो टाइम होता था, प्ले शुरू होने का जो टाइम होता था, दैट वाज द आवर ऑफ हिज बिजनेस, उस टाइम उसके भी काम करने का समय होता था, यानी उस समय वो बिजी होता था। क्यों? बिकॉज ही वाज सच ए गुड क्रिटिक, दैट्स व्हाई। Exactly at 5, he passes through New Inn, crosses through Russell Court and takes a turn at Will's till the play begins. This is the course that from the place which he lives to the place where the play begins. यानी उसके घर से थिएटर का जो रास्ता है कि एग्जैक्ट एट 5 o'clock वो जो है वो वहाँ से रवाना हो जाता था। एंड he has his shoes rubbed and his periwig powdered at the barbers as you go into the Rose. Rose is the name of the theater. तो जब वो वहाँ पहुँचता है तो उससे पहले रास्ते में जहाँ जो कोबलर बैठता था उससे वो अपने जूतों को पॉलिश करवाता था। एंड एट द बार्बर शॉप ही यूज्ड टू हैव हिज पेरीविग पाउडर्ड। पेरीविग, अगर आपने यू कैन से जो पोर्ट्रेट्स हैं, फोटो देखी हो, कभी न्यूटन की फोटो देखी हो या आपने शेक्सपियर की फोटो देखी, उस समय का जो टाइम था या उस समय के किसी भी जज की फोटो आप देखोगे तो वो अपने सिर के ऊपर एक सफेद रंग की बड़े बड़े लंबे घुंघराले बालों की एक विग पहनते, दैट इज कॉल्ड पेरीविग। सो ही यूज्ड टू पाउडर, दैट मीन्स वो पूरी तैयारी करके यू विल फाइंड हिम एट द रोज एट द टाइम ऑफ द प्ले, एंड इट इज फॉर द गुड ऑफ द ऑडियंस व्हेन ही इज एट द प्ले। और जब भी कभी वो प्ले पे पहुंचता था, यानी जब भी कभी वो थिएटर में पहुंचता था, देन इट इज फॉर द गुड ऑफ फॉर द ऑडियंस, ये ऑडियंस के लिए बहुत अच्छी बात होती थी। व्हाई? बिकॉज द एक्टर्स हैव एन एम्बिशन टू please him, because he was such an excellent critic. He used to and that's why his critics will be quite valuable for the actors who are performing in that theater, that play. So that's why he says that actors, as they wanted to uh, impress him, they all used to perform in a very good manner, and that's why he used to it was very good for the audience, because whenever he was there, people the actors performed much more effortfully, and people enjoyed the play much more than other days. So this is it. This is the second person of their company. We will read further in our next class. Thank you.